You a little short for a stormtrooper?
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Multiverse Report. And this is an instant reaction video. Video/podcast, I should say. We are recapping the first episode of House of the Dragon from HBO, from Dragonstone to the Red Keep and everywhere in between. My name is Mike Gibson, and with me as always is Steve Haller. What's up, Steve?
Well, what's up is Ramin Djawadi's music back in full effect in the initial episode of House of the Dragon, and it was everywhere.
Yeah, it really, way to jump right in. But this is, and I completely agree with that. I almost thought they overused it.
I have that in the notes of like, yeah, we get that it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like that's why we're watching it. No one's stumbling on this show being like, I wonder what this, like everyone knows what this is. And it seemed like, especially when it was like just, like there were references to that theme throughout the whole episode. But then at the end, it was just like, here is the song that you know, here it is. Like,
yep, absolutely.
Wow. They're just like, oh, we'll have people singing words to it and it'll be a different twist. Like, I don't know. Give me your own theme song. I want a House of the Dragon theme. That is as epic as the Game of Thrones theme. But I don't know.
Yeah, and they may get to that at some point, but right now we're 172 years pre Daenerys Targaryen being born. So I don't know.
Yeah, they made that clear.
Right, it's not like Star Wars where we can go before the Battle of Yavin or something. I don't think they have anything set for timescale in the World of Thrones, but we're a good bit behind where we were prior, and we've got a lot of Targaryens running around.
For sure. So we first of all, I guess we should say that we're not necessarily planning on doing a weekly reaction series to this show unless we end up loving the hell out of it.
I was going to say, if we love it and you guys love the reactions, then sure, we'll do it. But
it's not off the table, but it wasn't part of our initial plan. We figured that we'd do at least one for the premiere episode. Mostly because it's on while we normally record. Sunday nights we usually record at 9:30. The show starts at 9. So it would throw us off our game a little bit. So I guess we'll see what happens. But of the two of us, Steve, you are the bigger Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire fan. So, I mean, you've read the books. I watched Game of Thrones. I never read the books. You know the lore. I just know what HBO told me. So I'm going to throw it to you for your initial instant reaction. And instant, we literally just finished watching the premiere episode. So this is right off the top of our heads. Steve, what is your initial reaction and thoughts on House of the Dragon?
Yeah, within 15 minutes of the end of what I saw, I would say it hit the feel. It definitely felt Thronesy. Beyond that, like, there was enough to grab me, but I know my wife was a little on edge with it. I can't tell if it was enough to grab me because of me knowing the source material and me being deeper into it. Like from surface level, it seemed like it was a standard Thrones gory boob fest, if that makes sense.
It sure does.
Like it I don't know. I almost thought they were going to go less on that with this and be able to bring it back a little, but it seems like it's right to the fore again. You know, we end up in Flea Bottom and hitting some brothels with Daemon Targaryen, Matt Smith, getting it on. So
it'll be interesting to see if that keeps up or if that was just hey, it's the premiere episode. We gotta show some tits. And,
and they expect this. Let's do this.
Yeah. Are you trying to hook us in? I don't know. I could have done with just. I don't know. There were parts like that to me that felt like they were trying too hard to replicate what worked or what shocked us with Game of Thrones.
Right.
Whereas now it's not like shocking anymore. Now, like you said, we do expect it. So I almost would have rather them not do it. So it was it again felt different enough. I don't know. I don't want a show that is trying so hard to feel like Game of Thrones. Like I get there, it has to feel like it's in the same universe, and there has to be like
and they did that.
A connection, and I agree with you that they did that. But like I said, there were just a couple times when I felt like they are really trying to say like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember that?
Oh, they Spinal
Yeah.
Tap the hell out of it. Everything
Yeah.
got cranked to 11.
Yes. Yeah.
And it could be good, but and there's still, there's plenty of episodes left.
Sure.
I think it set solid groundwork. I think the story is actually compelling. Everything I had heard prior, even about, the dance with the dance of the dragons was, referenced numerous times in the lore, and it's a long-standing thing. But the question will be whether they can hold the plot line to be compelling enough to keep tuning in, week out.
Yeah. Great explanation, or great example of you saying they cranked everything to 11.
Yeah.
I literally thought this is like George Lucas's version of the Iron Throne, where like it was not just a throne. No.
Yeah.
The swords are all over the throne, but then it's all over behind the throne and down the stairs are just like more swords. We need to keep throwing swords at this thing.
So that was actually
okay.
a reference. Like, that was a throwback to people who knew the lore of when they had the initial Iron Throne. People that had read the source material were like, that's not the description of it. The description was closer to what we saw, where it was just the swords of everyone that had been conquered and whatever. And the whole idea was that it was not supposed to be comfortable to sit on. It's just a giant throne made of swords, which at the end we get the nice symbolism with him being cut by it.
Yes, I like that a lot. I will forgive if it's source material. I will forgive the extravagant amount of it.
But no, my wife watched it with me. She had the same reaction of like, that's bigger.
Yeah, that's a little too much there.
Right.
I did like the symbolism and also the just the natural. Like, he got cut from this. He's sitting on a chair made of swords. Of course, you're gonna
right.
cut. And I like that because there's also just like, ooh, there's a crack in the Iron Throne. There's a crack in like the king's leader. Like the symbolism of that, I enjoyed a lot, even though it was like a 2-second thing. So you liked it overall? I assume you're saying it was enjoyable. I thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it. No, I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, I know what you mean by. Go ahead, keep going.
I was just gonna say it's something I'm gonna come back to. I don't know how long they can go off the nostalgia and whether or not there's going to be enough novel to grab us.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And I was, I understand what you're saying. Why I think I enjoyed it is because they're trying to set so much up. Like, a pilot episode is hard a lot of times, and like every episode, I hope every subsequent episode will feel a little less like setup and more like just story, but the pilot episode by design has to tell you who all these people are, where they all are, what they're all doing, what it has to set up the rest of the season, if not the rest of the entire series.
Right.
So it was a lot. So I agree with you when I say I think I liked it. There are parts I did not like. The whole first half, I'd say the first half was, I don't know, I just didn't care. And I was really brushing up into the like, I don't care about Game of Thrones anymore. I'm watching this, but I was like really feeling that. Like, it's not.
Now, was that through the tourney and everything, or was that?
Well, that was cool. That's when it started. Kind of like, I was like, okay, this is something that's interesting and is probably going to. I need to pay attention to this. I feel like this is like going to be important.
Right. So the prior politicking didn't quite do it, and.
No, and just like the shots of like, here's the building that you haven't seen in a long time, and now they look different, and there's no map on the floor, but isn't this all regal and wonderful? And don't you remember this? I was like, yeah, I remember it. I don't care.
Right.
So it's like, and that's just me again, not being like as entrenched in the Game of Thrones.
Again, like we said earlier, they took it to 11. Like, we don't need a panning over of the Red Keep like it's the first time you've ever seen this thing, and
exactly, yeah.
Like, I did like that they, there was a lot of stuff I did like about it, and we're hitting on the nitpicking and that, but like the overall story arc, like seeing Corlys Velaryon, the Sea Snake, the husband of the Queen Who Never Was, who I can't remember which Targaryen it was. The token black guy at court. He, like, seeing him in the flesh, like, and the way his character played, I already have grabbed onto. I think I'm gonna like this guy.
Yeah.
Matt Smith just does Matt Smith things, and I can't tell
thought
if
he
you're
was great.
supposed to. I can't tell if you're supposed to hate him or love him or both. So
I think it's I think it's both. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that they were gonna so clearly set him up as the antagonist or
Yep.
an antagonist. I thought from the trailers, I thought that was possible based on just like how he was looking in the trailers and stuff. But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize they're gonna do it in episode 1. I thought it would be like later down the line, you
right.
know, whatever he would diverge or something. But like, nope, episode 1, he's like, you know, mad. I thought he was great. I thought everyone was good. The acting was great. I'm gonna tell you the one thing that I hated, and you may know, but like maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a soy boy libtard cuck. But the last thing I want to see from any piece of media in 2022 is a man making reproductive decisions for a woman, especially when those decisions result in a brutal, gory, unnecessary death
Yeah.
of the woman. I thought that was like tasteless. Like the way that they showed that scene and filmed it and portrayed it, it was like just disgusting on a number of levels. And
Right.
you know, say what you want about that opinion. I don't care. I read a couple people online that thought the same thing, so I'm definitely not alone.
Oh no, and it definitely
I
was.
really did not like that scene at all. I didn't like it at all. Yeah.
It was
And
extremely
I love
uncomfortable, and it
Yeah.
was like it's so weird because, you know, again, well, actually, that's the other thing is the source material for this isn't that old. Like Fire and Blood was put out only a couple years ago, so you know whatever's been in his brain. But at the same time, it's one of those where look at it as period piece. Like that decision would have been made in that way, and they're showing the repercussions of it. Of he's broken now. Like he made that decision. It was horrible that he made that decision, and trust me, you know me, I'm 100% with you on that.
No,
but
I
like,
know.
it's
And
like in the story, I get why they did it, but it does like it.
sure.
Yeah, it did not fit in modern.
I think it's felt like the way that they shot it.
Yep. That
Was
yeah,
like-
I'll give you that.
was-
There was a lot of unnecessary, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I felt like it was really purposefully like look at how cool we are. We're so. It was like kind of like edgelordy, like we're
Yeah.
gonna make this graphic just so we can like you don't.
Well,
have
and
to
right
do that. It was,
right
like,
before they showed
disgusting.
that, what they had, because in you know, they kind of side shot that and the tourney going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So what I thought was going to happen, and what I actually was talking to my wife about during the episode, was because there was the extreme gore of the tourney happening,
Yeah.
and I thought they were going to use that as the, you know,
Yes, that would have been better.
right, like use that as, oh, this is the gore that's happening because the flip side is that, like, they weren't going to
Yeah.
show you X because they were showing
They're
you
showing
Y.
you why. Exactly.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And I also understand like what you say from a story point because, like, I'm not going to back down on everything I just
Yeah.
said, but I will say that everything after that was the point of the episode. Everything after that I thought was way more interesting.
Right.
Like once that had happened, once the king was in this place where he needed to name a new heir, and that like divisions across, you know, everybody as far as who it should be, like then I was like, okay, now I see why that was part of the story, but I think they could have done it in a more tasteful way, I guess.
Yep. Well, and that's,
And,
you'll see
but-
moving forward, a lot of this is going to be Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra's at the forefront with, you know,
Sure.
Rhaenyra is the Sea Snake's wife there, the queen that
Yeah.
never was, and then
Yeah.
Rhaenyra is the daughter of Viserys, because
Right.
of course you have to have all the same goddamn names.
Yeah, they have to rhyme or
So,
start
right.
with the same vowels and letters. Like, okay, come on.
But you're going to see them move, like the two women move to the fore as the, you know, the driving force behind the rest of the series. So in a way,
Yeah.
it was kind of a setup, but yeah, the way they went about it was definitely
Yeah,
its own
that's
own
good.
animal.
That's good to hear because I thought, and like right after that was when the Hand of the King like kind of like whored his daughter out to the grieving.
So
King,
that
and I
was a
was just
weird
like,
one.
okay,
I couldn't
if
tell
this
by
is
the way
gonna
they
be-
shot it because again, talking to my wife during the episode, it was like we thought the same thing when it happened, and then at the end, my brain was like, what? Like she brought the book and did that whole thing, and
Yeah.
like in my head, I was like, was he whoring her out to the king, or was it a he sent her to convince him to name his daughter instead of his brother type thing?
Oh, I didn't see. I saw it straight up as like
I did at first, and then at the
I want
end,
you to,
I was like,
yeah. Well,
maybe
because like I mean,
you could
we
read
don't.
it
I don't.
different.
Yeah, because I don't think that happened. I don't think they had sex or anything. But
Right.
it really seemed like this is my way in to, if he's in love with my daughter or has feelings for my daughter, then he'll be more on my side. Like this
Right.
is me playing the game. That's how I looked at it. And
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
it definitely read as that.
Yeah, and that, since that came right after like the birth thing, it was like, if this is gonna be just like full on misogyny the entire season, then
Right.
I'm out. But like I said, I did really enjoy it by the end of it. I thought it was very compelling. And yeah, like I don't know anybody's name,
Yep.
but it's gonna take seasons probably before I know everybody's name. But I did overall like it, and I liked it enough to watch a second episode, and I guess that's really the job of a pilot episode. So there you have it. I didn't like, again, it didn't completely relight the fuse of Game of Thrones fever for me. And I know maybe I'm in the minority of that, or maybe there's a 50-50
No,
split
that's.
of people. But
I think even me, who, like, if you look on my shelf over there, there's more Game of Thrones books than you know what to do with. But at the same time, it's like, I think I'm in. Like, I know I'm going to watch it. I just don't know if it's
Right.
going to be, all right, we have to pause at 9:00 every Sunday so we can see it right off the bat.
yeah.
type viewing. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It's, I guess we'll end up, playing it by ear as to what we do next week. But at this point, it's like, yeah, I'm glad we did this for this one at least. And
For sure.
if anybody's, anybody who's listening, if they want to get our raw instant reactions like this, let us know, and we can,
Let us know.
keep working it this way. But yeah, I think overall, and I think you'd agree that episode 1 success, but not to the level that we thought it might be able to bring us back.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think while I was watching. I was like, well, I was trying to remember what happened in the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Right.
I was like, oh, it was a lot of the same thing. You're meeting a ton of people. It ends with the shock of pushing the kid out the window.
Right. Of Jaime Lannister, and instead, Jaime Lannister goes and flies off on a dragon. Because Matt Smith is definitively Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, he's gonna be the character that we love to hate, and we care about him, but he's a total asshole. I feel like, or at least that seems like what they're setting up. And yeah, and I'm sure we'll hear from a lot of those characters that we saw say just one word or whatever,
Right.
pledge their fealty. I'm sure those will be bigger characters as we go along.
Well, and some of them you could tell they brought in just so they could show the sigil, like the Baratheon and whatnot, to make everybody feel like, oh yeah, we are in the same world. So
yeah, they wanted us to hear those last names.
Yep.
For sure. Valerian, Baratheon. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So
yeah.
Right. No, I think, if anybody's watching us on Twitch, hang around. We're going to be doing a She-Hulk reaction from She-Hulk episode 1 from last Thursday, whenever it dropped.
Thursday.
And then
we're gonna
following
do
that with our real
wrap up. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're just catching this as a one-off, feel free to tune in anytime we're live. We're usually live Sundays at 9:30. Plus or minus with Game of Thrones. So we'll see how that goes. But like, subscribe, follow us on Twitch. Find us on any of your podcatchers of choice. Check out themultiverseport.com, themultiverseport@gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us. And anything else, Mike?
That's all I got. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you pretty soon in the multiverse.
Okay. One down. Yeah.